I'm Chef Hart.
You're Chef Hart. The heart of the chef. That's Ralph. I'm James, and we are co-founders of Chef Hart, and we just want to take some time today to tell you what makes Chef Hart unique as a spice blend company and our business model and how it can serve you. Sound good?
Sounds good.
We both have a passion for spices. Chef Hart started out of that idea that spice blends were starting to become very tasteless to us. And I said, we need to do something about this. And so we got together and turned out with his experience and my technical side, we brought that together. And Ralph, how long have you been in the food industry or the production industry?
Oh, production industry, probably 30 years.
As an engineer?
As an electrician, engineer, as a maintenance person, as an operator. I've done a little bit of everything in different food and production lines for a very long time, mostly electrical, manufacturing electrician. But yes, I've worked food lines, I've worked production lines.
Which makes for an interesting combination because Ralph, he builds our shelving. He creates incredible solutions for how we do our production. We have a retail store that we're sitting in right now, and our production is in the back. And we have other videos that show you some of that. Maybe we'll show you some of it here. But that production, it's what, 100 square feet?
Yep.
100 square feet of production area, and we have over 1,200 square feet of horizontal shelving that we're able to keep all of our spices on, etc. And also you develop various ways for our jars and bottles to be dispensed.
Yep, just to improve our process, streamline, simplify.
It's amazing. And because we don't just blend with our hands or a mixer or whatever, we grind all of our spices together. And the result of this is that it releases the oils, the essential oils within the spice blend, and they mingle as, micro particles. So when you taste the blend, you get this essence, and it totally captures the flavor. And seeing as we are known for our persona blends, which is where we can capture the essence of a person, place, or thing, idea, whatever the case may be, any theme, and then transmute it into the spice blend, this grinding process allows us to get very specific on that.
There's a complete difference between just stirring the ingredients together and grinding them together. You get more flavor, you get more nuance of flavors.
Oh, that word nuance, that's the key. Yeah, we'll put spice blends in our mouth and start talking about the different aberrations of the blend as it releases in our mouth. And both of us being home chefs,
yeah.
We cook pretty regularly, and we know what a spice blend will do once it hits the pan, once it mingles, right, with grease and food and things of that nature. And so we have a really good time tasting the blends and recognizing the different ways that they will interact.
The subtleties, we sound like wine connoisseurs when we start talking about our blends, the different essence that come through at different times. You have to taste it to really understand it. And then when you cook with it, it's beyond that.
Yes.
Just tasting on your palate is not the same as when you cook with it.
And when we say it elevates your food, we don't say that shyly. We are bold about the fact this will elevate your food. We have certain blends that we design to add on to existing cooked food in case you're not a chef and you just want to elevate the flavor of your food. And then we have other blends that you prefer to cook with or even bake with. Some of our dessert blends are amazing to bake with. And so we try to cover the full gamut. Not only that, but we've got better than a dozen channels of how we are promoting our blend, whether it's online, offline. We have a membership site. We have you have the ability to create a spice drawer within the membership site and at home. And anytime you need a new blend, you scan a QR code, we ship it to you. The whole idea around Chef Hart, one of them, is that we are a hub. We are your spice blend production company. And what's a better way to say it? We are your, we're your hub.
Yeah.
And we have multiple spokes and different ways that you can utilize us. But you can simply, from our website, create your own blend and submit it to us. We'll produce it, we'll package it, ship it to you. Then we'll put it online and we'll make it available in your spice drawer on your hub, on your membership site,
Right. We
in the
partner
portal.
with you.
And we partner with you so that we become the epicenter of your spice blend. It could be a business. You could create spice blends at whim. You can use our persona blends to create a theme of spice blends. You could take a set of characters. You could take a book and make spice blends out of all the characters that are in the book, and then sell those to your book readers. You could take hot rods. You could make a whole spice blend series out of cool hot rods. Whatever you think that you want to create a palette around, we have the means to do that. And I promise you, with the labeling, we put a QR code on the side of all of our where's that QR code? Put a QR code on the side of all of our spice blends so that you can scan it and it'll take you to a page that demonstrates the blend. We can put pretty much anything you want on that page, but we always put a flavor profile and recipes and things like that. But I think we're getting a little
Getting
on
in the
the
weeds.
fringes there. The weeds are fun though. They're not spices and herbs, but you know. We're going to talk about a few different spice blends that we have made. This was one of our early ones, and it was made based on someone's grandma. It's called Grandma's Blend. Let's see, how do we do this? Can we do this? Yeah, it's got a 57 Chevy on the front. This spice blend, oh, you got your glasses on. Tell us what's in it.
Okay, this has got your onion, roasted red and green bell pepper, rosemary, garlic, pink peppercorn, and salt.
And I'm telling you, when you have this roasted red and green bell pepper in a blend, it cradles everything else, gives it a context that you can emanate from. This one has pink peppercorn in it, so it accentuates the sweetness of the red and green bell pepper in
It really does.
fascinating way. This is a beautiful blend for using all over the place
Yeah.
in your kitchen.
When you start cooking with it, the steam, the moisture coming out of your food, and just the heat brings more flavor to this blend. The more you cook with it, the better it gets.
That's true. I know people that keep just this blend in their house. This becomes their go-to now. We'll say that about a lot of different blends because the fact of the matter is, once you kind of engage a blend and you connect with it, you find that it's very versatile. And I always use ice cream as my litmus test. I love putting these blends on vanilla ice cream because, first of all, I like salt on my ice cream, and that's just, I like to savor my ice cream that way and balance the salt with the sweet. But if you put these blends on ice cream, you really get a sense of how they kind of interact all by themselves. So that's Grandma's Blend, and Ralph keeps holding up this new blend. He is so in love with this new blend.
It is. It's phenomenal.
See how close we can get that just so that it can be seen in the camera. This is a blend that was created and crafted after a winery in Chelan, and this particular winery is the only winery that sits right on water, and it's not the Lake Chelan that a lot of people are familiar with, but rather it's the Columbia River, and it's the Rio Vista Winery, and they have a beautiful winery and a history of amazing wines. And we created and crafted a blend that captures the essence of this winery, and oh, did it ever.
Yeah, it's toasted royal velvet lavender, coriander, dillweed, fennel, Saigon cinnamon, black pepper, salt, sweet smoked paprika.
So one thing that we find is when we read the ingredients to a blend, like prior to making it, sometimes we scratch our heads and go, is that going to work? Are those flavors meant to be together? Which is what makes this unique, because we have a process that leads us to the essence of something and truly blends it in a way that magnifies the flavor. Where as just a person, we may not think to put those flavors together and those quantities.
No, it's shocking sometimes how much better our process is than we are at divining the right melody of spices.
It absolutely is. And so we say that because when you create a blend and send us your recipe via the web and you use our Spice Wizard to come to that blend, you can know it's the same process we use in house, and we don't taste the blends until after. We don't adjust them. We don't mess with them. We trust the process a lot more diligently than we trust our own palates. But then when we taste them, we go, "Oh, I see what they
You
did
see
there.
what
I
they
see how
did,
that
yes.
came out." And this particular blend, the Rio Vista Cuvée, I tried it on ice cream the other night. Made a video about it because I just could not believe how tasty it was. And it created like a red velvet ice cream just because this is a luxurious blend that is literally overwhelming. And he can't stop talking about it. So
No. The toasted royal velvet lavender really changes things. And it's a local lavender farm that we get this from.
yes, we have one of the
phenomenal.
few lavender farms around, and we have access to it, and it's amazing lavender. When you toast lavender, it takes it from that floral high note and it brings it down and kind of spreads it out. And before you know it, again, you have one of these cradles that allows a lot of different flavors to engage with it. That toastedness, if you mingle it just right, which our process does, the Spice Wizard is amazing at that, it will help nail that flavor
Yes.
and bring it home in a way that, I don't know, we toast a handful of things, but this is probably the most
It's
prolific and,
yeah.
and the one that has the greatest difference in its flavor.
It's elegant.
It is.
It's soft, it's elegant. It's called Royal Velvet Lavender, and it does become velvety and makes it blends with spices you would not expect it to blend with, and softens them,
Yeah.
yet enhances them.
In this one, the coriander comes through. You know, coriander is usually sharp. It's pretty
Yeah.
pretty pronounced, and it comes through in this as a note. I like to relate a lot of this to music sometimes, and you play a chord progression, and it's a bland, 3 majors in a row, but then you change one note in that process, and it harmonizes or creates a little bit of tension. The coriander in this kind of does that. When it suddenly seeps through and you taste it on your teeth or on your palate while you're eating whatever, it just kind of says, "Hey,"
Yep.
it just kind of shows up for a moment, and then it fades back into the rest of the flavors.
There's another blend we do for trout. It's River Blend. That
Rivers Embrace.
Rivers Embrace. That has a little bit of coffee in it, and when you taste it dry, you don't notice the coffee. But whenever you cook with it, the heat, the steam, the moistures, they all meld together, and that coffee just kind of lays over all the other ingredients, and it brings out a whole new taste to your trout, your fish. It's amazing.
So we mentioned it. Can you grab it real quick? There's one on the on the shelf. Rivers Embrace was to your. It's a Persona blend. You're right in front of you. You'll see. We make Persona blends, so we take the persona of something. This was made off of the persona of fly fishing, and
Yep.
so
You get
some people tell me it's hard to read the label, the Rivers Embrace, but there you go. I know it doesn't focus very well, but look at this rich color. So we have a lot of blends. We have a couple of fish blends that are lemony and light.
Yeah.
This one's more smoky and heavy. It really, it takes you. It's
Yeah.
like you caught the trout and you opened up you built a fire and you just cooked it right there
This is
by the side of the river.
This is amazing because it's your sweet smoked paprika, telecherry peppercorn.
Oh, that's
If you're not aware of it, it's a different pepper that has a totally different essence.
kind
to
of
it.
like a flowery.
Yes.
But it's so closely married to the pungentness of the pepper,
Pepper. You still get the pepper.
that you get something totally different.
Yeah.
Try telecherry pepper if you've never tried it.
Then it goes with black cumin, which is a little different essence than the regular cumin.
It's softer.
Softer, deeper tones.
Mm.
Again, back to music. It's also got rosemary, cayenne, and coffee grounds. We grind a very lavish little Italian coffee bean to put in here. So
And you don't really taste the coffee separate. It
No.
just creates a base that this whole blend
Everything just
resonates
lies
on. There are times where we will mingle these blends together, and that's a whole nother process. But yes, River's Embrace is a brilliant blend. Now, let me give you another idea along Chef Hart, along the lines of Chef Hart. This was created by one of our members. And when they create the blend, we sell the blend through our channels. And if you were to buy this blend, a commission goes to the creator of the blend. So if you were to come to Chef Hart, the website chefhe.art, and you were to create a custom blend, once we create the blend for you and ship it to you, we give you a membership in our portal. And anytime, and then we also add you to our affiliate program, and we assign your blend to you. So anytime that blend sells in any of our channels, or even if we sell it wholesale to somebody that's going to take it to an event or a farmer's market, and they're going to sell it there, you get a commission on it. So we become kind of this extension of for you of sales, of marketing. We promote them just like we're promoting this now, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of the heart of Chef Hart and the art of Chef Hart.
Oh yes, the art of Chef Hart. We built a lot into the name.
We
Here's
did.
a blend that a lot of people buy it just for the beauty of the label. It's Tuscan Twilight. Tuscan Twilight is a great blend for Italian dishes. Again,
Okay. Very simple. It's basil, oregano, rosemary, thyme, and garlic.
timeless.
Yes. Ground together, blended together in a way that brings more of their essence out when you cook with it.
And it looks good sitting on the shelf.
Yes.
If you're an Italian restaurant, this looks great sitting on the table to allow your guests to have just a little extra Italian seasoning to add. But you could cook with it, which we encourage probably most, and brings sauces to life just like those classic Italian flavors. Why is this better than what you might buy off the shelf? Well, first of all, there's no fillers.
Nope.
There's no GMOs. We grind everything to order. So when you place an order, if we take it from our inventory, it's because we have 3 to 5, maybe 7 at most, sitting on our shelf in the retail store, and they've all been produced probably within the last 2 weeks.
Right.
But 99% of the time when you place an order online, we are grinding it at the time of order. And so you never have to worry about whether we're going to have something in stock. We're set up to be able to react that way. And so you get the freshness of all the herbs and spices. We only use quality vendors that we have lot tracing on. We're WSDA qualified or certified, FDA, all the things that are necessary to say that we're doing it and we're doing it right.
And put a dash of that in your noodles while you're boiling them. It brings your noodles up to a new level.
Oh, so if you're
It
not
was
seasoning, I was at home cooking the other day. My daughter saw the pot of noodles and she goes, "Why is it black?" And Mom from the other room goes, "'Cause he seasons his noodles." I was like, "Hey, they're learning."
That's right.
And that particular day, I'd added a lot of black pepper, and so it was black. But yes, I would encourage you add to the water that you're cooking your pasta in, if you don't already do this. Add a lot of salt, and when I say a lot, I mean like far more than you would put on the food, because what's happening is it's getting diluted in the water. You put that in, you add whatever herbs and spices you want, or whatever blend. If I was cooking noodles and I was using this, I'd put a quarter of this bottle in my water.
That's more not you.
That's
but
me,
That's
but-
you. You really love your spice.
I like to overdo it. But, and then if you pull your noodles off and all of a sudden, they're too salty or just too much, like maybe you use cumin. Sometimes I just pour a lot of cumin and it's just a little too heavy. You can always just rinse them under the water a time or two, and it brings down the
softens.
flavor. It's amazing. It's very controllable. But what I find is you taste, it could be super salty or whatever the case may be, and then you put the sauce on it, and you can also gauge your sauce. You can put less in. That's what I like
Yeah.
to do. That way, more of the flavor of the sauce comes out, and then it mingles with the flavor that's innate in the pasta. It elevates your food, and it's simple stuff. And that's the beauty of these blends, because of the way they're made. We do all the homework ahead of time, so when you add them to your food, it just incredible. It elevates your food and brings out the essence of whatever you were trying to capture. Ha, you like that?
I like that.
All right, we got Clockwork Spice. We have a board, and we have several board members that are chefs and people who understand the spices and how they blend together. And this one was made by by Brian, our treasurer, but he's also our research and development guy. He's very good at creating blends, creating soup blends, just a variety of flavors. And Clockwork Spice is an absolute favorite. We sell them pretty regularly at events and where people can open it up, smell it, and taste it. Because once you taste this, you'll realize, first of all, it's another one of those that's good on a lot of different things. We've had
It
teenagers.
has a lot of range.
It does. And we've had teenagers come in and buy our cup of noodles and get and you know, when you come into the retail store, they can just grab the Clockwork Spice and add it to it, and this really makes a cup, a jar or a package, a cup of noodles pop.
Yes.
Tell us what's in Clockwork
Okay.
Spice.
This one.
It's on the front because that's an older
Oh
label.
yeah. You got your basil, cilantro, coriander, garlic, lemon peel, marjoram, roast and red and green bell pepper, thyme,
There it
and
is.
white peppercorn. It's good.
Yeah. Just as you're telling me, I'm thinking about all those
Yeah.
flavors and how they
Start-
mingle.
Yeah,
You
salad.
start to, after a while, you start to build up, right? The idea of what it tastes like. The lemon peel, we were just talking about that. This isn't just lemon flavoring. It's actual dried lemon peel. And what happens is when it hits your food, it's one of those things that absorbs the moisture and then just splays. So you get this lemon overtone that really creates an evenness amongst all the flavors that
Yeah.
you're cooking.
It just mellows out. It just becomes more essential to the entire base. And our recent customer with our lemon pepper two spice seasoning, was commenting how it's the best lemon pepper they've ever had.
It's fresh ground pepper and fresh ground lemon peel. It doesn't get any better
Yeah.
than that.
And the lemon peel, when you taste it dry,
yeah,
it's
not much.
way different than when you cook with it.
Yep.
Like
Another
the
reason.
coffee grounds.
Right. Another reason we rely on our system and our approach rather than our palates all the time, because those can be deceiving unless you're actually cooking with them.
And another quick trick on some of these, add it to sour cream and make it dip.
Oh man.
That's surprising.
Just about every blend here you can add to sour cream and make an amazing dip for your chips. And we have our mystery blends that we sell just as a gimmick, because there are leftovers when,
Yes.
after a day of production. We have leftovers, so we don't know what's in them. We just mix them all together and call it a mystery blend and sell it as a novelty. But we find that people take that novelty home and they add it to sour cream. It becomes the chip dip that they don't want anybody else.
Yes. They won't share it.
They won't share it.
Because it
they'll
can't
make
be
it
recreated.
and they'll hide it under their bed because it's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
But chip dips are amazing, and our dessert blends, when
Oh.
mingled with cream cheese,
Yes, make instant frostings.
instant frosting, amazing instant frosting. All right, we'll get to some of those in a bit. You are the one that loves this blend. It's bold basic.
This is my go-to.
Probably the most essential 4 ingredients that you find in spices. If anybody's using spices and not too experimental, they're probably falling back to something very close to this.
This is my basic. It's called a bold basic. It's what I put on all my steaks before I put them out on the charcoal grill. It's what I put on my burgers before they go on the grill. And it's simple: peppercorn, onion, garlic, and salt. And that just makes a steak. If you've got good meat to start with, this will make it perfect.
And we're from Okanagan, Washington.
We have good
this
meats.
this is cattle country. We have great meat. But that right there, we put on the tables at restaurants in shakers. We have another one that goes with it.
Yep.
I don't know if I brought it over
The
here.
savory.
It's called the Savory Basic, and it's the same recipe, except instead of black pepper, we put chipotle. And it gives it that smoky chipotle flavor.
And a little bit more bite.
A little bit more bite. And these go on tables at restaurants. And what we'll do is we will private label them for the restaurant, so the restaurant has something that we know is highly favorable amongst a lot of people and very diverse across a lot of different food. So it complements the salt and pepper that sits on the table. And then the beauty then again is that there is a QR code on each one, and then we're able to design a web page for that restaurant that gives that restaurant a different way to engage their customers. Sometimes it includes their menu, and sometimes we put games, or we'll put other local restaurants and hotels and golf courses and other sites in the local area on that webpage. So it's very versatile as a device, marketing device, as well as versatile as a blend.
And a number of people that have tried both of these find that it's made their grilling simpler. That instead of them guessing what ratio and how to grill, these two take the guesswork out. They're ratioed. Just sprinkle it on your meat, put it on the grill. There you have it.
And as you probably know, when you're cooking, you season at different times. And so between the two of these, you can get a real smoky base. Like you can make your initial seasoning with that chipotle, so that once you cook it, some of that burns off and it just creates that underpinning of smoke. And then as you cook it, you use the bold basic to bring it out. And then at the very end, it's so versatile what you can do with them.
Yeah. And they go good with French fries.
Oh yeah, they do. For sure. All right, next up is one of our favorite stories. It's called Sonoran Heat. We're going to tell you a little secret. We made this on accident.
And it's a favorite. I love it.
What happened is very early on when we were beginning the production here locally, we've been producing these spice blends for a little over 5 years now.
Yes.
And from the time we began until December of last year, which would be 2024, we were supplying restaurants with our blends. And we were trying to build up our online presence and our web page and our portal and doing a lot of stuff and not really pushing the business forward. And then in December, we came into a retail space where we built a production center, and we realized it was time to really start getting into the grocery stores and getting into various events and farmers markets and things like that. Well, we went to a local event. What was that? Particular, was that it was over at the fairgrounds. We're in a small town, and people were coming
vendors
up.
market.
It was basically a vendor's market, and we had the ability to open them up. They could taste them and smell them and whatnot. Smell them and taste them, however that works. And we were selling out. We were selling out of our initial signature blends that we had at the market. And so we still had a whole day to go, the biggest day of the 3-day event. And I called Ralph and I said, Ralph, I don't know what we have in stock for spices, because we, at that time, were running very meager on how much stock we kept. I said, but whatever we have, I need you to just make another blend and let me know what that blend is, and I'll go make a label for it. And we'll have more blends for tomorrow. Ralph sends me back a text and says, well, here are the items that we have in stock. What's in there?
Spanish paprika, garlic, cumin, cayenne, onion, and thyme.
And I said, okay, that sounds like it's going to make a pretty tasty blend. Well, This was before we had AI and before we had our system
All tuned
processes all tuned in. And so Ralph took 5 grams of absolutely each of those ingredients, those spices, and put them together, ground them up, blended them, and packaged them and gave them to me. I made a label, called it Sonoran Heat, and we put it out on the market. it became the hottest selling thing in that event that we'd ever seen. People would, as soon as they smelled it, they'd be like,
They
"Oh
love
yeah,
it.
I need that.
They gotta
I want
have it."
that. I gotta have it." Well, since then, I've used it multiple times on tacos. You know, we
I
bring
use it for
food in all.
taco meat.
And here's the magic of it. It's not blistering hot,
No.
but it brings the flavor of heat
You get the
into your
pepper
food.
flavor.
And there's a bit of a kick. Those who are very sensitive are going to say, "Oh, it's hot." But the reality is, for anybody that's used to hot or used to trying to increase the flavor by increasing the heat, which is usually what happens, this somehow cancels out the heat with the time and the way it works, and it just leaves your mouth with this beautiful Sonoran flavor that
I would call it a mild. I
revolutionizes
would not call
your
it
taco.
hot. And it's got your Spanish paprika and your cayenne in it, but I would say this is very mild
It is.
to most people.
Crazy as it is.
Yeah.
Given
And,
the fact that it has that much flavor around those spices.
Yeah. Put it on enchilada meat, taco meat. It works.
And it's only one of, we have several, we have an ethnic line, a line of ethnic blends, and we have a Mexican blend in there. We also have a couple of other different approaches. We have a wonderful carne asada blend that was the result of a gentleman who came in and made a persona blend that as soon as I tasted it, I was like, that's for carne
That's
asada
carne.
specifically. And so we have several different ones, but this one just sets apart because of the fact that it brings out so much of that flavor, that Sonoran flavor, without the heat, without the excessive heat. Smoky Backyard. Smoky Backyard is, there we go. Smoky Backyard is delightful. This was created by, again, our research mixologist, and he owns a shop down the street where they sell everything from honey to he makes teas and
Quail eggs.
Quail eggs. I have some right here. They're just a local small town fresh farm type of shop.
Fresh
and
milk.
he designed this. It's called Smoky Backyard. And again, the lavender farm is actually his and his wife's. They took the lavender and toasted it and made that the primary focal point of this blend. And this blend will make anything you cook with it taste like you smoked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I put it on salmon one time. My favorite way to do salmon is with cover it in mustard, as a binder. You cut, and then you just as much brown sugar as you can stack on. But this time I put that down. I put the mustard down. I put that down, or I might have put that on top. No, I put that first. Then I put the mustard. Then I put the brown sugar. And I still had my beautiful brown sugar crust and my sweetness, but under it, the fish tasted like I smoked it. It was ridiculous how well it worked.
Smoked salmon without having to get smoky.
Absolutely, without having to have a smoker.
Yeah.
You could cook it in your oven. In fact, I think that's exactly how I did that particular piece.
The baked salmon. This has got your cilantro, coriander, mace, oregano, black pepper, roasted green bell pepper, sweet smoked paprika, and the toasted lavender. And they just mingle
Brilliant.
so well.
It's absolutely wonderful. Okay, time for Four Seasons. Now, here's something, another thing we'll admit. You don't have to change a blend too much to suddenly have a brand new blend.
To make a big difference, a big change.
Absolutely. In fact, we utilize a software program that allows us to create the recipes and track them, track the lots, ensure that every time we create a blend, we're using the same ingredients at the same levels, because we know the nuance of shifting any of those out of whack. Well, Four Seasons is actually a derivative of citrus spice.
Yes, it is.
Citrus spice, and I don't even remember what the change was. Maybe you could see a
See if I
difference.
Oh, the citrus has the lemon.
And there's no lemon in the Four Seasons?
No. the Four Seasons is garlic, thyme, rosemary, black pepper, and sage, and it comes across beautiful. The citrus has your lemon, white peppercorn, pink peppercorn, basil, lavender, rosemary, marjoram, and parsley and garlic. They're very, very close, but very distinct.
Yeah, there's a lot more in this than I realized, but I remember when we created that blend, we had started with this, and it sounds like we took away a few more and made one other change. But that typifies how it works. This one, with all those flavors, has this citrus top note that carries it. So it's wonderful on fish, wonderful on chicken, lighter, great on vegetables.
Yes.
Just lighter foods, it just lifts them. And then this one, we called it Four Seasons for a reason, because once we finished the blend, we smelled it, we tasted it, and I couldn't help but get out of my head, I couldn't get it out of my head that I can taste and smell all four seasons.
Yes.
The lemon was gone, so it wasn't an overpowering, if you wanted to put a season to this seasoning. See what I did
Yes.
there? It would be more summer because of the citrus. We took that out, and these four blended together, and it gave you a sense of fall, gave you a sense of summer, spring, and winter. Those are the four seasons, not in
Yes.
order. And and I at first I was like, well, that's kind of a nifty, it's a nifty thing. And we made the label to say Four Seasons, etc. Then I realized that means that you can use it at Christmas time, and it will lift give you a very unique Christmassy spirit. But then in the middle of summer, you could put it on popcorn. You could use it to make a steak.
Yes, you can.
And it will just give it a different tinge, just a little, it'll shift it just enough to where your guests will say, wow, what did you make that with?
Yeah.
And of course, what do we always say? We made it with love. Hence, Chef Hart.
Chef Hart.
All right. Turquoise. I can't see. I forget the turquoise what?
I can't read that one either.
Sometimes we make the writing too small.
Turquoise sunset.
Sunset. That's right.
Turquoise sunset.
This was a unique blend that was more of an experiment. This is a kind of a Spanish flavored blend. What's in it?
Oh, this one has got your cumin, coriander, cinnamon, lemon peel, cayenne, sweet smoked paprika. With your cumin, your coriander, and your cinnamon, you're going very Spanish.
Yes. And the reason it exists is because we had this beautiful necklace that one of our investors actually made, because she makes jewelry. Handcrafted. It was turquoise and like this red rock.
Yeah,
that
I can't remember what
matched the turquoise.
Not lapis, but
Yeah, I don't know what it was. But what we did was we input that necklace into our Spice Wizard, and we put it through PersonaWare, and that's what we call this process, PersonaWare. And we gave it a picture. We told it at the time what stones those were. We showed it the size of it. It saw, the AI saw it was a very large necklace, etc. It took all of that and it translated it as a necklace that was for a woman of strength and a woman of decisive nature, and had a lot of these different parameters to it. And we have it in our Certificate of Essence on the web. And then it created this blend. And I'm telling you,
it's something.
when you taste the blend, and here's the thing, some of these blends are amazing because of the flavors that they bring to the food and the palate. But some of these blends are amazing because of how well they define the essence of the thing that we made them from. They taste good, but it's not the overwhelming element. The overwhelming element is it truly brings about a sense of boldness and a sense that is provocative to the element that we designed it from. And this is one that is so specific to that. We have not sold the necklace. It still exists.
We've had inquiries.
Yeah, well, figure if we hang on to it long enough, the necklace will be worth more than the company. Virgil's Fall. Now, this is a dessert blend. This one deserves a category of its own. because it has so many unique parameters to it. The biggest one being a 12-year-old boy designed that. Now you say, what is Virgil's Fall? Well, his name happens to be Virgil,
Yeah.
and his favorite time to cook is fall, and his favorite thing to cook is...
Pumpkin and apple pie. Apple pie mostly, but
And this is an apple pie blend that... What did you do with it one day?
I bought the cheapest pie filling, the cheapest pie crust, and put 2 tablespoons of that in the mix, and it tasted like my grandmother's all day cooking in the kitchen apple pie. It just elevated it to not just your cheap stuff, but elegant.
You
apple
brought
pie.
it in here, and we all tried it. If you mix this with whipped cream,
Yeah.
you can
Oh.
get a topping, or you could use the cream cheese
Cream
method.
cheese.
Whatever you would want to do, make your own icing. It does something magical. What all's in this?
Oh yeah, this one's.
And
full.
we sell that one left and right. It
Yeah.
is the best baking blend.
A lot of these first ingredients seem very close together, but in this blend, you taste them unique. You got your mace, allspice, nutmeg, Saigon cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, honey crystals, and pumpkin.
The vanilla, the pumpkin, the cardamom, it just really, the allspice, it just comes through and blends so nicely and elevates. Now, this is one that you don't pour in your hand and taste and go,
Ooh, I like it.
I want to taste more of that. It's designed for baking. It's designed for mixing. It's a little overpowering just in your hand, although people smell it and they taste it and they go, yes, I'm cooking with that immediately.
Yeah. Which one?
Yeah, its counterpart, Banana Boy.
Banana boy.
Oh, you might as well grab Honey Buzz Brew Bliss as well. So we're going to show you Banana Boy first, because this was designed by the same 12-year-old boy who likes to make banana bread. And we have a lot of young people who are very much into cooking and enjoy experimenting with their own blends. And I tell you what, when you make a blend for a young person that they design and get to put their image on, it revolutionized them. Both of these young people have decided, as a result of their interaction with Chef Art, that cooking is going to be in their future. One of them very headstrong to become a chef.
Chef. He wants to be a chef.
Totally wants to be a chef. He wants to own a business. He's really set his course as a result of this. But we'll get to Lizard Lou
And the
in a
kid
bit.
plays football. He's very masculine
Very
oriented, but
Fishing,
he loves
football,
cooking.
hunting. Yep,
Yeah.
and he loves to cook. Not that cooking's not a masculine sport. Banana bread or banana boy. So this particular blend is meant for making banana bread. And what happened is we do these persona tastings, which are every other month. We get our members together locally. We cook some food. We invite them to cook food, all with our blends, and that allows us to just demonstrate them and get a sense of how they interact with the food. He brought his banana bread, and you know, when you have a potluck or you have this kind of a gathering, you tend to eat a lot. And the banana bread came out last. And honestly, I took a slice and I tasted it. It was wonderful, but I didn't have the appetite at that point to eat a whole bunch of it. Then I found out, then I tasted the icing. The icing was that cream cheese mixed with this. I ate several spoonfuls of
Just
the
the
icing.
dressing. I mean, the
because
icing.
It was so good. It was over the top delicious. And I think the thing to say about our process and the grinding and everything is that you get a balanced flavor. If the flavor's good, it's balanced. And this, it was so balanced that you just couldn't stop eating it.
Yeah.
I love Banana Boy. It's wonderful.
Well, and then I took it just recently and made sugar cookies
Oh, that's
with
right.
Banana Boy in it. And it's not a snickerdoodle, but it comes very close. You get the cinnamon, the cardamom, the vanilla. It makes a good sugar cookie.
It went beyond, like snickerdoodles. You can eat 2, maybe 3, but after that, I feel like I'm gorging myself on the same kind of flavor, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It just starts to. It's like I can only eat 2 hot dogs at best. It's kind of the same thing. However, those cookies you made, and you made them thin and crispy, that helped. But I just kept. It was just one of
They're
those
good.
things. I never, and I think it's because the way the flavors are so
Rounded.
rounded and robust, and there's this music that happens with our blends. And I'm not kidding. I don't know how else to explain it.
Well,
it creates a symphony.
It does. And
that
I like
doesn't get old.
the music analogy. There's no sharp notes. Everything harmonizes.
It
There's
harmonizes
no sharp
good.
notes.
Yes. There's no notes out of order.
No.
Not at all. All right.
You want to do Buzz Brew real quick?
Oh, Buzz Brew Bliss. So one of our favorite things to do when someone walks in the store is put a little bit of this in their hand. I would say 8 out of 10 times the person goes, "Oh, I need a jar of that."
They like it.
It's honey. It's granulated honey crystals and
Espresso salt.
it
Coffee,
just
salt, and honey.
it's the balance of
It's
salt
crazy.
and sweet. And it just absolutely, we grind them together so you create this evenness. And it hits your palate and just, it takes you away literally for a minute. It's not Calgon, but it
No.
acts like Calgon on the palate. It just really lifts you up. And
And it goes great on vanilla ice cream.
oh, it goes amazing. We actually sell bars of ice cream here that are vanilla. For the very purpose of making sure people can taste Buzz Brew Bliss in all of its bliss.
And it's, every time people taste it, it's like, I've always wanted this.
Uh-huh.
Never had this.
Honestly, it's the one blend. I mean, people come in here and get giddy sometimes.
Yes.
But this blend by itself will make somebody just chuckle. They'll just, oh, they get it. They can't believe how good it tastes. And that being said, when people come into our store, the only time I've ever seen such fervor over a product, and I've said it before, is when somebody goes who loves the Apple product, the computers, when they go into an Apple store. You see that kind of fervor because their imagination goes wild with everything they can do with the products. And they're wonderful products. I use them, love them. People come in here and they taste these spices, they smell them, they get a sense of what we're doing, and all of a sudden you can see the wheels turning. And two people can come in, someone who wants nothing to do with cooking and doesn't see it as an art, and the other person who does. And it's night and day. And sometimes you'll see a conversion here and
Yes.
here and there, where they'll start tasting and smelling and say, "Here, you should try this, and here's what you're smelling," and they're like, "Oh, okay, I kind of get it."
Yeah.
But the amount of passion that people bring to the product and that the product seems to stir in them, I've never seen anything like it. We've had people leave here giving us hugs.
Yeah,
We've had We've had stories that bring us to tears, and we'll share some of those later. We've had stories that crack us up, but if anything, you get a sense of people's heart, their
Yeah.
chef heart,
Well-
and what it is they're putting into their food.
the sense of smell and the sense of taste triggers so many memories.
Yeah.
They are so connected. So many childhood, lifelong memories. Grandma's apple pie. Ugh. I love it. And when they sit here and taste some of our blends, their memories start rolling, and it becomes a part of them. And they go, "Oh yeah, I want that because I want that memory back. I want to make new memories with that taste, that smell, that aroma." It's amazing.
Food is the thing that we gather around the most to unite one another. When it comes to cooking, there are only so many things you can do to make pasta and bring meat to its full rendering. You know, there's only certain things that you can do to cook with. And good food, properly cooked, is absolutely wonderful. But what is the difference from good food to great food, or from tasty food to memorable food? It's always the spices.
The seasonings.
It's the blends, it's the herbs, it's the things from the earth, it's the things that were put here with our creation, and we get to experience the power of that every time somebody makes a new blend and we taste it and use it.
The
We
alchemy.
get drawn into that. And yes, it truly is alchemy, because it is taking the essence of that thing, that person, that event, and it's transmuting it into a blend that you ingest, that you experience, and that you 100% engage with.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound too
Absolutely.
spooky with it, but it is a phenomenal process to be able to do that. Here's one that you'll find on the market probably from various vendors. We call it wood-fired garlic. and it just is a beautiful blend of.
Okay, in this we have applewood smoked sea salt, garlic, sweet smoked paprika, raw sugar, onion, black peppercorn, parsley, red chili pepper flakes, and lemon peel.
And you can probably
Come
just
on.
listen to that and hear that and think, yeah, that's going to taste good. That's one of those that just dances on the palate. The story is all about the flavor. It's all about what it can do for a piece of meat or whatever. The aroma that comes off when you cook with this as well, just it fills the air. It whets your appetite, if you will.
It changes bland to exceptional.
Yeah, absolutely. And so seasonings like this become the difference between something simple, and we all a lot of times like to just put these on top ramen or a cup of noodles because that's something that's very very basic, and very stable as far as a flavor in your mind, and then you add these to it and it elevates it, and you get a real sense of just how good spices can make all the difference.
And you can put these on popcorn.
The popcorn, buttery popcorn with this stuff, turn it into gourmet popcorn in a second. And again, the ice cream, I haven't tried that one on ice cream. I don't know.
I haven't tried that one. I don't
But
know.
garlic ice cream, right?
Why not?
Why wouldn't you give it a shot?
We got red velvet.
While we're doing this, I don't want to get too far into it, but let's show the ethnic blend so that we can show the different form factors. I'd grab one of each. We're not going to be too intense about their
More enough?
formulation. No, I want all 6.
Okay. I'll get
And
some
we
more.
have like over 20 of these planned. But we have a Mexican. We have an Italian. Most recently, our Indian. Someone came in and said they were starting a Cajun restaurant, and together with that chef, we created our Cajun Creole blend that they use in their restaurant. This Asian blend, I make soups, Asian soups with it. I cook my Asian food with it. It's kind of like using the 5-spice blend, but it offers a lot more nuance and a lot more breadth to the flavor that comes out of it. This is our American blend. Again, you got the bold basic, the chipotle basic to put on hamburgers. I'll show you here in a minute our Campus Cravings selection of. We have Burger Bliss, but American, wonderful on burgers, wonderful on steaks. Meatloaf, veggies, just all sorts of American food that will enhance. And then I had a lady come in and she said, "Do you have a Moroccan blend?" And we said, "Nope, but we created one." And this Moroccan blend, it's just exotic. And something I want to say about it. What's in this? Tell them what's in that Moroccan blend.
Okay, we got your cumin, coriander, fennel, Saigon cinnamon, sweet smoked paprika, and turmeric.
So those are very basic spices.
basic,
There's
yeah.
nothing exotic about the spices outside of your normal, what you could go and purchase and bring together. But again, once you grind them and once you have the right amounts of each one,
It's just
it brings it into this Moroccan ethnicity, and it's just phenomenal. By the way, Saigon cinnamon,
it changes things. It's probably the best cinnamon there is. I've quit using Cassia cinnamon at home. It's Saigon or no cinnamon at all.
we use both in different blends depending on what structure we're going for. But that Saigon cinnamon, so sweet, so
Subtle.
soft, and yes,
Oh, it's
luxurious, velvety. It's a wonderful blend. Okay, I'm gonna keep working you. Let's grab 4 rubs.
Oh, which floor? Any floor?
Well, we only have these are our 4 signature rubs. There's a steak one in the back right if you can't find it.
Choice cuts,
Oh.
tenderloin, poultry, and salmon.
There we go. All right, so we have a poultry rub. I know it doesn't do well that way. Cumin, oregano, black pepper, basil, rosemary, thyme, paprika, sage, onion, garlic, sugar, and salt. Now, what we want to
Minimum sugar and salt.
that's what we want to talk about. We don't try to sell you sugar and salt. We try to sell you the flavor, and we add enough sugar and salt so when you use it as a rub, you get that crust. You get the penetration of the salt. But if you want to add more salt and sugar on your own, then you
To
can
your
do
own
that.
taste.
We'd rather you get the flavor of our rubs and it still be a rub than to just try to sell you a bunch of salt and
The
sugar.
restaurant rubs we do have quite a bit more sugar and salt in them than what we sell you in our rubs, allowing you to bring the sugar and salt to your taste, to your desire. And like I said, we're not selling the sugar and salt. We sell spices.
Even our restaurant rubs, we still are on the lean side. We're not trying to push the sugar and salt. We just make sure that they have enough so they can use them quick out of the gallon tubs or bags that we sell them in, right in the back of their kitchen. Our our salmon rub, I've had a lot of people say, I've never heard of a salmon rub. And I said, I know, but now you have. And I promise you, if you will try this, remember I was talking about liking to put that sweet, crispy layer of the brown sugar on. With a little bit of sugar in this, you get that sensation. Maybe you want to add more, but this rub will elevate your salmon, give it a little citrus flavor, and of course bring out some of those green herbs. What do we have in
All
that
right.
one?
That we have dill, parsley, thyme, orange and lemon peel, garlic, sugar, and salt.
And that oh,
dill and that lemon and it comes across very, very well.
the orange and lemon kind of stabilize each other and make
Yeah.
make a nice foundation for the
I-
dill to come through.
I use this personally on my salmon at home when I bake salmon. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of butter, melt it over it, season it, bake it. I'm good.
You're done. I will also give you a hint. This is good in potato salad and macaroni salad.
Yes, it
It's
is.
like a one shot. You just
Dress
add
'em
your,
up.
Yep, you just add your ingredients, your mustard and your mayonnaise and that, and you got a potato salad or a macaroni salad that nobody's ever tasted. Choice cuts. At Christmas time, we relabel this as prime rib, just because that's a popular cut. But this is a wonderful blend. We have butchers, we have lots of people that come in and purchase this Choice Cuts blend for their personal meat selection, and we get nothing but raving reviews on that. And then probably our our best tasting
Star.
smell. What am I trying to say? Our best smelling taste, our best smelling blend. That's it.
It's just awesome.
When we're at shows and events, we will have this out on the table, and somebody will ask about a blend, and we'll open this one up, and they take a sniff, and I'm seriously 8 out of 10 times. Oh,
They
I gotta
gotta
have
have it.
that. Gotta have it.
Yeah.
And this is really good for pork. Tell us what's in
It's
it.
our tenderloin rub, and it's got garlic, onion, thyme, sweet paprika, rosemary, salt, and raw sugar.
Yeah.
It,
By the way, what kind of raw sugar do we use?
it's Toronto. It's I can't pronounce it.
That's all right.
Yeah,
It's a very high quality raw sugar.
Yeah.
And there are times where we use table sugar or
Yeah,
what do they
just
call
granulated
that?
sugar.
Granulated sugar. But when we can, we use that raw sugar because it just enhances the flavor very nicely. And that's what happens here.
This is one that a gentleman that lives in this area who smokes a lot of pork and does a lot of smoking. He had got left a little piece of a jar by a friend during the Thanksgiving cookouts. And he came in after that saying, I want more of this. And he ended up buying half a gallon that he now uses exclusively on his meats that he smokes.
We have a lot of people locally. We mentioned we're in cattle country. We have a lot of people that make sausages, different sausages, and I guess that'd be pig. But
Yep.
they make sausage, and they'll use these different blends in their sausage, and it just makes an amazing sausage. We have 2 more form factors that I want to show off real quick. By the way, we make bread blends, we make soup blends, we have a series of Vitality blends. Actually, grab a Vitality, just one,
And we do singles.
and a single, and then right up here I'll grab a Campus Craving. So this form factor is a 4-ounce jar. These are our Vitality blends. This particular blend, someone came in and told us they were having muscle pain and fibromyalgia. They had a slip disc and a variety of things that were keeping them from sleeping, relaxing. Just created a lot of tension in their body.
And
We're
they
not
didn't
doctors.
want opioids. She did
And
not
she did
want
not.
painkillers.
we're not doctors. This
Nope.
is a disclaimer. This is not going to work for everybody. But we created a Vitality blend that allowed this woman to put this both on her food,
And tea.
add it to teas, and she swears by it. That's all I can tell you.
It helps.
And we have a whole series. We have one for called Bright Eyes. We got one for the stomach,
that?
and
What I got
we have
ready?
a whole series. Oh, there's Bright Eyes. We have a whole series of Vitality blends that, as we all know, herbs and spices have their base benefits,
Yes.
and we mingle them together to address specific elements.
First
that
medicines
give
were
you-
spices.
the first medicines were spices, absolutely. And so, again, we're not recommending them in any way, but we, as far as being medicine or replacements or go
Supplements.
against your doctor, but if you want to enhance certain elements and areas of your life and your body, we have blends for that. We also, in this same form factor, sell pretty much any single spice, whether it comes, if it's best to have it whole, like anise, star anise, we'll sell it whole, or if you want it ground. Interestingly enough, we grind bay leaves and sell them, and people tell us all the time, I've never seen bay leaves ground. But if you take ground bay leaf, if you have ground bay leaves, now you can add it to bread. You
Yep.
can add it to soup without having to fish out the bay leaf later.
Or worrying about somebody finding it in their bowl later.
Right? Or, as I mentioned before, you can put it in your pasta water.
Yeah.
And
Does magic.
you have that bay leaf infusion that is really remarkable. All right, last form factor we're going to show you is our, what we call Campus Cravings. So we created a whole line of 7 different blends that were just primarily, and they're in these cute little 4-ounce jars, that are primarily meant to boost food that you've already made. And what kind of food? Well, we called it Campus Cravings because it's intended for college age kids, people on the run, people on the go, military personnel who are eating mass produced food, let's put it that way. And it
Yes.
could be out of a fast food joint or it could be out of a cafeteria, but they want to just enhance that food and do it in a very easy and fast fashion. And that's what brought these about. And in order to really bring about that enhancement, we used the top of the line of everything that we could come up
Yes.
with. This has the wonderful ingredient in the ramen boost is the truffle salt,
Black truffle salt.
black truffle salt, along with
All in here you have your tarragon, garlic, parsley, ginger, black truffle salt, and vinegar powder.
all that
And the
truffle
vinegar
salt,
powder,
that
the
vinegar
truffle
powder,
just does something.
and they lift that tarragon. And all of a sudden, you're just like, I'm not eating ramen anymore.
No.
This is manna. And we have the same apparatus with Burger Bliss. I'm going to just show you a few of these.
Oh yeah. Burger Bliss. We have one for Veggie Vibe. Taco Fiesta. Hang on. Let's see if I can juggle. Chicken Classic. And what
We
else?
have a pizza.
Pizza. We
A
got pasta
pasta.
pilates, which I use a lot in my.
And a veggie vibe, which
And
I think
veggie
we're
vibe.
sold out of because it tastes so good. People eat it right out of the jar.
Yes. We had one person buy the Veggie Vibe, and her husband got concerned because he kept seeing her just eating it out of the jar. I says, that can't be good for you. Well, it's just spices, no fillers. It won't hurt you.
It's very good for you,
Oh,
especially for the palate. Anyhow, that is our lineup. That is our collection, and that is not all of our spices. Oh, I did leave one out, our infused salts.
Our salts.
As we're talking about the
Yes. We've got the black truffle salt. We've got smoked salts. We've got, what is it?
herbs
Lavender
de
salt.
Provence,
Herbs de Provence.
Provence.
Yes. Wow.
A number of different infused salts. I'll tell you, these smoked salts are really wonderful to add to the food. Another way to create kind of that smoky sensation. Now, when we use in like Smoky Backyard, when we use the toasted lavender, it infuses like a deep smokiness. But a quick shortcut or an enhancement to that is when when you utilize a smoked salt.
That's this one, applewood.
Oh, applewood and cherrywood, just the smell right out of the jar.
It's like you've cooked outside all day and never left the house.
And we always ship them in our cute little 4-ounce French
Yep.
containers.
And this is just our basic garlic salt.
Okay, our garlic salt and our onion salt, especially the onion salt. I've never tasted onion salt that had so much flavor of the
Yeah.
onion. I mean, the salt is there, but you don't taste the salt as salt. You taste the onion,
Onion.
and the salt elevates it.
And this is a lime salt.
Ah, wonderful lime salt, yes. And then
You can
sometimes
bring your margaritas with that too.
we have a variety that
Yes.
we will put in one jar just to create that mingle. And then a lot of times we use these infused salts in our blends, as I think you heard of before. Well, Ralph, this has been great.
Been good.
We always like to bathe in our spices and just get them around us. A lot more to tell you, a lot more to talk about with regards to how the Persona blends come about. We have character blends. We literally take fictional characters or pieces of art and we find out the backstory of each of those, and we draw the essence out of that backstory and create a blend. Okay, I wasn't going to make him get up one more time, but he volunteered, so we'll talk about it. These are some of our character blends. We had a local artist, and she said there's 6 of them, these 6 different characters. One of them walked across her canvas, as she described one day, and she had to paint it. And after she painted that one, its friends showed up, and she ended up with 6 different characters. Well, we took those characters and we were looking to create a blend that would allow us to go into the city of Yakima, Washington, and Yakima is known globally for their hops. So we sourced 6 different hops, and around each of those hops, we identified which hop matched which character, and we created 6 different hop-centric blends that are a unique way to elevate your barbecue onions, your barbecue root vegetables, your barbecue meats, mushrooms.
Yes.
The
It's
bitterness
way
of the
different.
heart is like an anchor, and then everything that comes from that, it works well with like the burnt ends and it's a phenomenal.
crunchies.
So we have an entire line of who we call, these are the Yakima Hopsters, right?
Yep.
That was just our name for them, and each one of them, this is Amanda Hops. Each one of them has their own backstory. You can use the QR code to learn about them, etc. But these are called character blends, and there is a whole world of things that you can do once you start making spice blends out of characters. What was the other one that this one is made after the song Puff the Magic Dragon, just to give you an idea that this is a popular karaoke song, and so this became our karaoke blend. And Puff the Magic Dragon, a fun little label, but an amazing blend, tasty, and resonates with the idea of singing karaoke, that freeness and just that boldness that it takes to do that.
And because just a small change in ingredients, maybe a little less of one or a little more of another, or bringing 2 of them up, you can change a set of spices to be different. It's limitless what you can do with spices.
You just have to know how. Well, that's unlimited knowledge. It's unbelievable what it takes to be able to do that. And that is why we use our system and our approach, and we leverage AI to be able to, and we encapsulate all of these ideas in our Spice Wizard.
It never fails.
And it never fails. It's just phenomenal how well it handles creating the blends. And then you have to mingle that with the fact that we grind all of our spices together. We make them all fresh. It all culminates to give you the best absolute persona that is possible on your palate. Here's another one of our local ingredients made into a blend, and I have several of them here, but only 2 hands by which to show them to you. These are white oyster mushroom based blends. You can look across the web for white oyster mushroom blends. You're not going to find them. I think Chef Art might be the only company making a white oyster mushroom blend. We also have a blue oyster mushroom blend, and we make them at different gradients of flavor and of heat. And our top end one we call Fiery Embers is made with the cayenne and the habanero salt.
Yes.
And that sounds like it would be super hot.
No.
It's got a kick, but it's a kick that's necessary, because what happens is these mushroom blends, again, the mushroom is an unami, right?
Yeah.
And it creates this context that leaves you wanting it to have an apex, because the context is so broad. That apex is the heat. It's the top note. And our Fiery Embers, you put that on pizza, and it revolutionizes the pizza. You could get yourself a $5 Caesar's pizza and put that on there, and it tasted...
My wife won't eat
even
baked
know how to
potato
explain
without the mushroom blends.
Oh, yeah. And they're great for soups. They're
Eggs.
Oh, eggs. They just enhance
They
so
go
many
on
different
everything.
things. And I think you can get a sense that these aren't just blends. You know, these are the blends we have now. Every day, every week, every month, we're creating new blends as new customers walk through the door, or we get new ideas. But you could create your own blend as well. Go to Chef Hart on the web, CHEFHE.ART, and you can create your own blend using our Spice Wizard, and the Spice Wizard will give you the recipe. You go then, you click on the link to take you to our shopping cart. You purchase that with us, and it's like $19 for an original blend, and all of our blends either come in a 2-ounce size. You can choose on some of them the 8-ounce size, or you can choose a half gallon. Just depends on which blend we offer that in. But we will create that blend for you. In this size, it's $19. Now, you wouldn't spend $19 on a blend at the store. I get that. This is your own custom blend, and you only spend it that one time. $19 to get a custom blend and a custom label and a QR code that will go to a page that tells you the flavor profile and what's in it and all those things. And then after that, anytime you buy the blend, you just buy it at the $9 retail price.
And it's on our list for people to buy.
And once you do that, we put you into our portal, into our Spice Circle membership, and then as people purchase it, you will get credit for it, and you will be able to see your credit in your membership portal. And the result is you can sit at home in your own kitchen, create your own blends, ideas. You know, you ever throw stuff together and then you're like, oh, I'll never get to do that again. Well, now you can. Just write down what you did, how much you used of it, and send it to us, because there's 3 types of blends. You can do a build-a-blend, which is where you tell us what you want in it, and then we will tell you, we'll figure out what the best balance is for each of the items, each of the spices. There's a traditional blend where the Spice Wizard will walk you through and just ask you all the basic questions. You want it smoky? Do you want it hot? Do you want this ingredient in it? And we'll create a balanced blend with you, and we call that the traditional. Or you can create a persona blend where we ask you about a theme, a person, place, or thing, whatever it is. If you want to create a blend for a bride and groom at their wedding, if you love your truck and you want your truck to have its own blend, it's whatever. I mean, there's absolutely
there's no limit.
There is no limit. You can walk through the Spice Wizard. It will create the blend for you. I will tell you how accurate it is. We created one for the local orchestra and choir. And we have an amazing orchestra here in our small town, oddly enough. And orchestras are, they're very precise. There's a lot of brass instruments. There's a certain tinge to an orchestra. Well, we created the blend. The blend reflected that tinge. I did not particularly like the blend. It might be the one and only blend that we've created where I go, I don't like the flavor of this, but you know what? It was as accurate as it could have possibly been. And I've yet to cook with it, and I'm sure you could find the food that would that blend would complement, and it would work. But it just goes to show you that we can very accurately map the essence of anything to a blend. So if you want to make a blend around motor oil, I'm just saying, I don't know what it's going to taste like.
Well, we've had blends created that I have balked at. Did not think that's right. That's not going to work.
Right.
And then as soon as we get them put together, blended, ground, and made, it's like, whoa.
It's amazing.
It surprises me how accurate and how well balanced these come out.
One of our character blends, and the one he's talking about, we don't have in stock, which is a
No.
shame because this is one of our flagship blends, but we just sell it so fast, is Lizard Lou. And it sounds insane. You'll have to watch another video for us to tell you
Look
the
up
whole
Lizard Lou.
story behind it. But Lizard Lou is wonderful on so many different foods, and it truly is a great blend. And it's one of those that we looked at the recipe and went, how could this ever work? So what we hope is that we can open up your heart and mind to a whole new approach to spice blends. The reality and the awareness that it's not, you're not subject to what a corporation might be able to mass produce and put in front of you, though that's a common way that spice blends get created and have to get created. But this allows you to dial into exactly what you want. If you have a blend, this is how we work with a lot of restaurants. They tell us their blend or they tell us their rub, and with that we reverse engineer it and give them a replication, but with better spices, our grinding process. Maybe we balance it out a little bit to bring out more of the flavor. But we can work with whatever it is that you want to start with and create a blend for you that will leave you spellbound. And it will raise and elevate your food
And yourself.
and
you feel
yourself.
better when you eat
You
better.
do. Last story, we brought on a production gal, and she is incredible for us in production. Precise, quick, efficient. Love all those aspects of her. When she came here, didn't know how to cook.
No, she was
We-
afraid of cooking.
She was afraid of cooking. We never once gave her a cooking lesson. We never once even did anything more than her just being around us on a daily basis and
Tasty.
gaining the knowledge of spices. And inside of 3 months, she came back and said, I cook now. I cook all the time, and I'm actually pretty good at it. And she discovered the magic behind the spice. And so on our website, we have a page with the Art of Spice tutorial. It's just a collection of videos and a process to take you through to kind of get you to think about how you cook. But the reality is, just using our blends and letting your palate guide you, it'll make all the difference in the world. Why? Because at Chef Heart, we are blending persona with spice. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's what we do. All right. Thank you for taking the time. I don't know if you sat through this whole video, but if you did, God bless you. We appreciate you. Go to Chef Heart. Check us out. If you're in Okanagan, stop by our store. We'd love to serve you.
233 Queen Street.
That's where we're at.
Good day.